Hello, my friends. Today we're going to talk to you about several things. So, if we take a look at the desk over here, we will see over here this is a Kodak Baton. It is a camera that was made in 1937 by Kodak themselves. It was very popular during World War II for the soldiers. This was the camera that soldiers used to take out in combat to actually film and record some of the experiences that they were having. I want to talk to you a little bit about this. This is going to be the giveaway for this week. All right, so this Kodak Baton is going to be the giveaway for this week. But for today's video, I'm going to be talking specifically about a new lens that I have acquired. It is a vintage lens on my Olympus OMD EM5 Mark II. It has an adapter. It is a Sigma lens, and I'm going to show you by taking the cap off here. Let's take the cap off there. That is the lens itself. It looks wonderful. It's gorgeous. The way that it renders photos and videos is spectacular. It is really, really excellent. So I'm going to talk to you about this when we come back. Well, today what I've got for you is a lens that is vintage. This is a Sigma Zoom Master 35 to 70 millimeter, and it is an f2.8 to 4. It is a variable aperture lens. It is also what is called a push-pull. As you can see here, you can push and pull to zoom in and zoom out. And it is also has one other feature, which is a macro, as you can see right there. It does macro photography as well. Now, it is a manual lens. This particular lens was made for the Canon. It is a Canon FD mount lens. So I have an adapter that takes the FD mount into micro four thirds so that it can be used on this camera. Let me show you how small the lens is, or how the size actually of the lens. So let's take the lens out. I'm gonna take, this is our camera, the Olympus, and this here is the lens with the adapter. Now, if I wanna take the adapter off, I got to press here to unlock it. This will unlock the mounting on it. And I have to give it a circle. There we go. Wait a minute. Let me get it going better. There we go. Okay. It has a locking mechanism. This actually rotates. And then you can just lift it out of the adapter. You see the lens and the adapter? This is the adapter. This is the lens. This is the push-pull lens. See that? It's a push-pull lens. Look at the size of this lens. It is not a big lens for it being a zoom lens. Now, this adapter is just a straight through adapter. There is no optics. There's nothing on the lens. On the adapter, I should say. And to put it on is very simple. You see a little red dot there. You match it with the red dot here, and you match both red dots. It falls into place. Then you take this ring that you see here, and you press on this red button that it has, and you actually twist the lens in place. You lock it. This is a lock. It's a locking mechanism. And this is how it's done. It's actually better done if the adapter is on the camera first. Let me see if I can unlock it. Okay. And it goes here. And okay. It's a little difficult to do it this way because it is not meant to be done this way. It is actually, let me show you the right way to do it. The right way to do it is to mount it on the camera. Here's the red dot that you see here. Mount it on the camera first. Okay. Now the adapter is on the camera. Now I can mount the lens on the camera because it has more stability, right? And you see it doesn't go nowhere, so I gotta lock it. And how do you lock it? You lock it with this ring right here. Going counterclockwise. You can see it right here until it locks. There it is. It is locked in place. And now the lens is in place. The lens has, as you can see right here, it has manual aperture. It's a manual lens, guys. It's a manual lens. You can see the apertures right there. It goes from f2.8 all the way to 22. And then your zooming is here. Then you have your markings here. This is 75 millimeters. I'm sorry, 70 millimeters. And when you extend it, it's 35. That's 35 millimeters. When you bring it down, it's 75 millimeters. And then this is your focusing ring right there. Very, very smooth. It is made out of metal, except for the actual grip for the focusing around the wheel, or actually around the lens itself, is like a soft rubber is what it is. So you can have a good grip, but it's super smooth, buttery smooth. Very, very, very well designed. Now, the pictures that this lens creates is what makes it so different. So let's take a look at some of those photos right now. Getting back to the lens, all right, what I recommend personally, when I store this lens, I like to store it with the adapter. But if you're not going to store it with the adapter, the better way to take the lens off and to put it back on is not to do it like I just did it. I did it because I am used to taking the lens out with the adapter and storing it that way. The better way to do this on this particular lens, since it has the rotating locking mechanism, right, is to take the lens off first. And to take the lens off first, you can see here where it says lock this way and unlock this way, right? So what you do is you press the red button here and you twist right here and you twist, okay, the locking mechanism. Right now it's locked. So we're gonna take it there and we're gonna open it up. See how it twists? It's a little bit tight. It's supposed to be tight because that is good. You twist it. Now you can lift the lens up out of its place. All right. And the same, the adapter is just like taking a lens off of your regular Olympus. So to put it back in, your red dots meet. There they go. They meet. Make sure it sets all the way down. And you twist until you hear the locking. Listen to the locking. You heard it? It's a locking click to it. You gotta hear that click. Okay, once it is clicked, then it is in place. Now, what I like about this lens, the things that I really like about this lens, because it is vintage, in the time that the lens was done, it was done, number one, is built in Japan. Number two, everything inside the lens is all glass. It's using actual glass. In my likings, all right, this is not an opinion, this is my personal likings, all right, in my personal likings, I have found that a lens that is made with pure glass inside the lens gives a much more characteristic look on your photos as well as your video. It has a oomph that it can bring into your production that makes it more cinematic. What do I mean by cinematic? Cinematic is such a huge word to use that sometimes it is misused. But part of being cinematic is a certain look. And most guys that are filming right now in today's age, what they're doing is they're buying these newer lenses that are very clinical. And when a lens is extremely clinical, then they find out that it is too clinical, so they add a filter, a pro mist filter, to soften the lens. This by no means is a soft lens, but it is a lens that is just perfect for cinematography. It is a one lens does all, and that is sort of what makes this a very beautiful, a very hidden, underrated lens that if you don't know about this, most people, if you've never had this lens, you probably won't even know that this lens ever existed. Now, Sigma has lenses, just like every company has lenses that are super good, and they also have lenses that are not so good. For my liking, this lens meets those characteristics for a cinematographer that make this lens fall into the super excellent group. Let me show you some of these videos. But before I show you these videos, let me tell you one more thing that I want you to pay attention to. One of the things that I like about this lens, it is really good on skin tones. Skin tones, specifically and more so darker skin tones, like Afro-American or somebody that is maybe from overseas with a not so white of a skin tone, but a mid-brownish bronze skin tone. It actually super shines because it makes their skin look precious, look super great on film. Take a look at these videos. so you saw those videos, and those videos was taken with this lens. I've only had this lens actually one day, so I don't have like a whole lot of material to show you, but I have used this lens before, and I know what the capability of this lens is. I just don't have more material to put on the video, but you will see as I work with the lens in my upcoming videos, more and more stuff being done with this lens. Now, here is the drawbacks of the lens. The lens is heavy. It is not super heavy, but it is heavy. I love this particular camera. I love this particular camera because it uses the 16 megapixel sensor, the Olympus OMD EM5 Mark II. I love it because it uses the 16 megapixel sensor, and as you know, some of the most renowned and well-known cameras like the Sony, the S3, is only a 12 megapixel sensor. So megapixels in video is totally obsolete. It's different, you know what I'm saying? And even some of the bigger cameras don't have all these great or huge amounts of megapixels. It's for a reason for it. But the sensor of this camera is awesome matched with this lens. The problem is when I use this camera is very small. So it makes the camera top heavy because the lens is more heavier. So what I do on this camera, which I don't have with me right now, is I have a grip and a battery which also gives me a better grip for the use of this lens when I'm using this lens, right? And it gives me more weight on the body itself. And with those two items added to the camera, it is a perfect combination. It is a very, very well balanced camera. Now, with that said, another thing, because this is a fully manual lens, when I'm doing photography as well as cinematography, I put my settings on my camera to manual, and I use focus peaking to actually capture my, grab my focusing on the object that I want to focus on. Furthermore, I have a magnifier. So what I've done, I have taken my function button number 1. Let me sort of show you by turning it on, all right, and show you what I mean, all right. This is without no focus peaking, right? I'm actually focusing right now. You see how it's focused? So if I want to focus more, I will press here, and it's going to, see, now I can focus because it's actually magnifying it. So now I can focus and I can take the shot. All right, let me turn my flash on. I can focus. Here we go. It's focused. So let's take a look at the camera, and let's look at this right here. Oops. No, I moved, my camera moved. I was moving, okay? So that's not the camera's fault. Is that I don't have it on a tripod. So let me take this off. There we go. And let me get myself to where it's sturdy. There's sturdy. And the focusing distance is not so close. So let me put it back. There we go. Okay, the focusing distance is not so close. So we're going to go there. It's still very close. It's still very close. So focusing distance is more that way. There we go. Okay. You see the focusing distance right there? Okay, so that is what I'm focused on right now, guys. Okay, so I'm going to squeeze very clearly, very slowly. Okay, so I took the picture. Let's take a look. That's the picture. All right, let's Oops. Let's zoom in on it. See the clarity? See the clarity? So that's how I use this particular lens. Obviously, I'm shaking. Okay, my hands are shaking because I'm doing this on the air. This is good to do it like on a tripod. If you're doing it, you have to be very still. Okay, and I used the flash. Okay, I used this little mini flash. I did not bounce the flash. I actually shined the flash right at it. But if I bounce the flash, we're going to bounce it this time. And we're going to try it one more time. Where is my, let me take it from there. There's the little green button, see it? That's a little green square. So I'm going to go there. And that's what I want to focus on. So let's refocus. There we go. We're refocusing. Oh, let's retake it again. I turned my flash off on mine. That was my mistake. There we go. Okay, so let's take a look. Here it is. Okay. Look at the clarity of that. Look how clean and how crispy clean this lens is. Obviously, you know, if you're shaking, you know, it has to do with you being very still, not shaking. But you can see how clear this lens actually is. And so that's how I use this lens. That's exactly how I use this lens to be able to capture my photos as well as my video. My videos come out extremely beautiful. And the colors are extremely awesome. So with that said, let me show you some more photos. And then we're going to come back and I'm going to talk to you about this week's giveaway. And we're back. We're back. Probably the best part of the video, maybe. The giveaway, all right? But before I do the giveaway, let me tell you a little bit more about this camera. This is the Kodak Batam, all right? As you can see right here. Now, this Kodak Batam was built by Eastman Kodak in New York, as you can see there. And this is number 24. This is actually, these were numbered, okay? This was actually built in Rochester, New York. These were actually numbered because on this particular model, this is a limited edition of the Kodak Batam. Now, let me tell you a little bit about the Kodak Batam. The Kodak Batam is a bellow reflex, which means that when the lens pops out, you see it's like an accordion, right? And that's called the bellows, all right? This has a 5.6, all right? A 5.6 aperture lens. What's so different about this camera is that if we take a look, I'm going to bring it here. And if you give me a close-up there, you can actually adjust the ISO, okay? And you can also adjust the, let me see, is the ISO and the, let me see, the ISO, and the other one was, I believe it's the shutter speed. Yeah. It's very hard to see, all right? Because the shutter speed is adjusted with this lever here on the top. All right, as you see, you slide that to the shutter speed, while the one on the bottom right here will tell you the actual type of film, whether it's a 100, 200, 400, you know, ISO speed. Now, the newer ones have the winder, this winder that you see here on top. This is a reflex. So what that means is that you have to look through here. You look through this little lens, and that will give you the shot. It will sort of frame the shot for you before you take it. Once you have wound your winder, let me wind it for you. Once you have wound the winder, okay, to the next film, right? Here we go. Okay, there we go. It's going to lock in place, right? There you go. It locks in place. It's going to show the film number here through this little red window. And you're going to take your shot. The shutter button on this is right here. That is the shutter button. Okay, so you wind it. Let me see if I can get it to go. There you go. And you shoot it here. Let me put it together. There we go. All right. And that's how you actually set this camera. This is your shutter. I don't have any film in it. This takes a film called 828. It is, you can find this film at B&H. It is a specialty film. It is film. Let me close this so you can see how we load the film. To unlock it, you slide this thing here. You slide it up, and it opens the door. Okay? And this is where you put the film. It is an 828 roll. You put it, you wind it up, you close it, you lock it. Here we go. Make sure that it is closed right. Okay, and you lock it going down. There we go. It is locked. And we're going to open it. Okay. This here is your focusing right here. This right here is your focusing. All right. And you wind your film. And this is your shutter right here. Let me see. It's hard to, there we go. Let me make sure that the, I think the cartridge is not right. Here we go. Cartridge is not on right, okay? The cartridge needs to sit on right. Okay, the way that you sit it is by sitting this side here first. And here we go. It goes this way. Okay, and you turn it until it falls. There you go. It fell into its place. See how it's winding? Okay. Make sure that it is. Okay, it is. And then we lock it. Okay, we press. Okay, and that's your shutter right there. That is your shutter right there. All right, so we can bring this up, bring this down. And you can hear when it actually opens up. This is the bellows. Now, the bellows style from the Kodak Magnet. Now, it has a little tripod up here underneath the bellows. You pull it out. As you can see here, you pull it out. All right? And you can actually stand the camera. Obviously, if you're going to take your shot, you're going to stand it this way. Here we go. All right? And that's how you stand the camera. This is a rarity. It's an antique. It is a classic. It is the Kodak Bantam. And if you want this camera, you need to subscribe to my channel and tell me on the comments that you want this camera so that I can enter it in the raffle for next video that we do for the giveaway. This is the free giveaway for this particular video. So until next time, I hope that you guys have enjoyed this video. I hope that you guys have learned something about the Olympus. I'm going to be shooting actually some real filmic style, cinematic style video shorts, so that you can see the quality of this video. And then I'm going to show you on the next video, I'm going to show you how to calibrate colors, right? Because this camera has all those capabilities, and how to make it look way more cinematic than what people, should I say, haven't told you, because maybe they don't know about some of the features that this camera has. So yes, definitely don't miss it. Don't forget, until next video, stay safe. Don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe on the button down on the YouTube button. Subscribe. Follow me on the Facebook. All the links are on the description. And again, if you want this free giveaway, let me know in the comments, and I'll enter your name for the raffle on the next video. So until next time, I wish you very safe, stay safe, and I'll see you on the next video.